Hi friends, welcome to my channel Educating Rural Youth. Today we are going to discuss JIB Principles and Practices of Banking. Unit 5 Role of Capital Markets, Securities and SEBI. And in this video we are going to cover capital market, corporatization, demutualization, differences between FFI and FDI, differences between bond and debentures. Please watch this video till the end because we are going to discuss most important questions from Macmillan book after this unit. Capital market is a market for long-term debt and equity shares. Both are issued and traded. Here market is a place where buyer and seller meet and they will do transactions. Here financial market is a place where we are able to buy and sell the financial instruments. So what are the financial instruments? Stocks, bonds and debentures are called financial instruments. So here in financial market is mainly consist of money market and capital market. Money market is a market where the financial instruments maturity period is less than 1 year. Capital market is a market where this financial instruments maturity period is greater than 1 year. So here in capital market we have long term debt instruments as well as equity shares. Two types of capital markets are primary and secondary. In the primary market, securities, shares, bonds, debentures are offered to the public for subscription for raising capital or fund. In the secondary market, securities are traded after being initially offered to the public in the primary market and are listed on the stock exchange. Secondary market comprises equity markets and debt markets. Here market is two types. One is primary market and second one is secondary market. Here in primary market one company is there. This company is not listed in the stock exchange. So this company initially issues shares to the public. So whenever this company issues shares to the public, this company is also registered in stock exchange and this company is issuing shares to the public initially and this process is called primary market. And whenever the company already issued the shares to the public and these publics are selling these shares to the other public. This is nothing but one investor is selling shares to the another investor. So here these shares are traded after company issues the shares to the public. They are traded second time. Initially this company issues shares to the public and this public are issuing shares to the other public. So here the shares are traded second time. That's why this market is called secondary market. Corporatization is the process of converting the organizational structure of the stock exchange from a non-corporate to a corporate structure. Here, normally we have state assets and government agencies and municipal organizations. So, all these are initially not having a specific structure. So, what government will do? Government will convert these state agencies, government agencies and municipal organizations into a specific structure. That structure is nothing but corporatization. In this process, these are listed in the stock exchange as well as the administration of these companies will change. So initially this administration is monitored by the government. So after corporatization, the administration is monitored by the government as well as public. Here company administration will change as well as this company is listed in stock exchange. This process is nothing but corporatization. Here, by using this corporatization process, government can sell these government agencies to the private. This process is nothing but privatization. Mutualization refers to the transition process of a stock exchange from a mutually owned association to a shareholder owned company. So, for example, we have a company. This company is mutually owned by these three people. So, whenever these three peoples have become shareholders by purchasing the shares of this company, this process is nothing but demutualization. Here, in this process, mutually owned association becomes shareholders of the company. So here, in this process, some members are there. Those are called board of directors. They will look after the day-to-day operations of this company. So here, by becoming shareholders, this mutually owned association will get some profit. FII can invest up to 49% in stock exchange in India. FII is nothing but foreign institutional investor. This foreign institutional investor can invest up to 49% in Indian stock exchange. For example, we have a SBI bank. We assume that this SBI bank paid up capital is 100 crores. So here this foreign institutional investor can invest up to 49%. Means he can invest up to 49 crores. Now we will discuss the differences between FFI and FDI. Foreign institutional investor and foreign direct investment. Here the investor invests in secondary market. Here the investor invests in primary markets. Here the investor invests for short term period. Here the investor invests for normally long term period. Here the entry and exit points are very easy. Here entry and exit is not very easy. Here this foreign institutional investor invest in any company for the purpose of profit, but he don't want to interfere in day-to-day operations of the company and don't want to interfere in board decisions. Here in this foreign direct investment, here the investor want profit. He can join in board decisions and he can control the decisions of the company. The FDI is the real investor. So here FDI investor can transfer his ideas and technology to this company. So here because of FDI investors, so GDP growth is also increases and employment is also increases. Here the foreign institutional investor wants only profit, is not interested in the company maintenance. So here if the company is in loss, so he exit from this share and he can enter into another share. So here he is only profit oriented. These are the main differences between foreign institutional investor and foreign direct investment. No single investor can hold shares in an Indian stock exchange beyond a limit of 5%. Here, any Indian stock exchange, one single investor can hold up to 5%. A broker is registered with SEBI and is a member of a recognized stock exchange and is permitted to do trading of different stock exchanges. So here broker is nothing but he has to register with SEBI. So after registering he is permitted to do different stock exchange transactions. What are the brokers? Zerodha is a broker, Upstock is a broker, Government securities are coupon bearing instruments which are issued by RBI on behalf of Government of India. Government securities have maturity dates ranging from less than 1 year to a max of 30 years. Here, government securities are issued by the government whenever government want to raise money from the public. Here, this government securities carries coupon rate. Coupon rate is nothing but rate of interest. Here, these government securities are issued by RBI on behalf of government, and these government securities maturity period is less than 1 year to great and up to max 30 years. Debentures are bonds issued by a company. It has a fixed rate of interest, usually payable half-yearly on a specific date, and the principal amount repayable on a particular date on redemption of debenture. It is an unsecured debt. So here, these debentures are issued by the company, and these debentures are having fixed interest rate, and this interest rate is payable half-yearly. So this debentures maturity period is some specific period. So after that period, the person who buys these debentures can redeem easily. These debentures are normally unsecured instruments. A bond is a negotiable certificate, usually unsecured. In coupon bonds, interest rate paid biannually. In zero coupon bonds, interest is paid at the maturity. So here, bonds are also negotiable certificates. These are also unsecured. There are two types of bonds. One is coupon bonds, another one is zero bonds. So in coupon bonds we have a rate of interest. So here normally this interest is paid biannually up to the maturity of this bond. So in zero coupon bonds, these bonds are issued at discount rate. For example, we have a bond face value 100 rupees. So this bond is issued at 98 rupees. For example, we assume that this bond maturity period is 1 month. So here, by investing 98 rupees, the customer is getting 2 rupees after 1 month. So this type of process is called zero coupon bonds. Now we will discuss the differences between bonds and debentures. Bonds are normally issued by the government. These debentures are issued by the companies. These are issued by the governments, that's why these are secured. These are issued by the companies, that's why these are unsecured. Low returns and low risk. Here these debentures are having high returns and high risk. Here, so whenever the company becomes a default, then the bonds will be given the first priority. After the bonds, the debentures will be given the second priority. So here, the company can convert these debentures into the equity shares. So there are various type of bonds are there. Floating bonds, fixed bonds, inflation index bonds, and option bonds such as a call option and put option. There are two types of debentures are there. One is secured debentures, another one is unsecured debenture. Whenever we have secured debenture or secured bond, a company becomes default company, then we can sell these securities in the market and we will get our money back. Remaining topics and the important question from this unit we will discuss in the next session. Thank you for watching this video. I have recently started this channel. Please support me by liking, sharing and subscribing my channel. and share your feedback in comment section. Thank you.